noticed that you enjoyed the top entrances video I put up before, so today we're taking a look at some more anime entrances. What better way to make an impact than with a dynamic entry? And today we'll go through some more of the best ones, both heroic and villainous. Let's not waste any more time and let's get on with the show and dive in to see some more epic anime entrances that you may have missed out on. We start the list off with one of the most recognizable stock figures in Japanese history, Oda Nobunaga.
甲斐の国は武田の家臣なり。
静かにしな、真田幸村。この俺を椅子組めやがった。
With a historical figure like Oda Nobunaga, anything less than a stellar entrance is unacceptable, and Sengoku Basara did him justice. It's funny because instead of being an actual entrance, he just stood there. Nobunaga stands on top of the mountain with lightning and his music suddenly blares. That's when you know that you're dealing with the Oda Nobunaga. It's just so much impact for a guy who's simply standing there looking menacing. He didn't even need to say a word, nor did he need to jump down and mow down Masamune and team in order to make a statement, something that we're pretty sure he can do if we base everything from his appearance. Who knew that you could be so badass and menacing by just standing and gazing?
第6天魔王織田信長。
After Nobunaga, we then have Shinra with one of the best moments in early Fire Force. Let's just say that Shinra and Tamaki didn't have the best of starts. It was a rough introduction for the both of them, so I knew that a moment like this was coming. Still, I believe that anime moments come down to execution, and despite seeing a save like this coming a mile away, I still found myself caught up in the moment when I saw it. It was just perfect, but in an ironic way. You have Shinra, the good guy, coming in like an actual devil to save the girl. That, followed by the guy being calm yet strong and reassuring Tamaki, just gives off legit heartwarming imagery if you were to ask me. It's Tamaki's facial expression afterwards that completely sells the scene. You can see how she cycles through them as she looks at her savior, whom she's not really on good terms with. This is probably not Fire Force's undisputed best scene, but it has to be in the running for that title. We continue with an isekai because why not? It's not a heroic one though, unless you're just grateful to this character for getting the ball rolling on the REM memes. The White Whale's entrance in ReZero will remain one of my favourite cliffhangers and entrances in the series. There are many entrances that are just as good throughout the series, like Roswell in the Mansion arc or Reinhard saving everyone, but I like this one due to the sheer tension that it brings. It must be the atmosphere, the eerie silence, and the setup of the whole thing. Then Subaru's phone rings, and you hear nothing but the ringtone of doom before it finally appears, flying with the moon behind it. It was a mighty figure whose mere presence seemed to drain the entire army's willpower. It seemed that the battle had already been decided. But suddenly, you have Subaru and Rem starting the assault along with heroic music that gave me goosebumps. Thus, the much-awaited battle starts and the episode just cuts off, giving us one of the biggest cliffhangers in the first season. Given the series and its number of cliffhangers, that's actually saying something. Let's continue on with a reasonably recent villain entrance. How about Kenny Ackerman in Attack on Titan?
Yeah, Levi. Oh, 大きくなったか?
I think Kenny's entrance is so good because it's the culmination of hype. You don't see many characters face Levi head-on with a smile on their face. Throughout his debut episode, you have this sense of dread encasing you. This in large part due to his in the shadows scenes. Just who is this mysterious figure that seems to be so threatening? The build-up's all there. You have the name Kenny the Ripper getting thrown around, a rather elaborate urban legend and a short intro to the backstory, then bang! Kenny makes his big appearance, outright shooting down two people and nonchalantly greeting Levi, leading to one of the more iconic moments in this season of Attack on Titan, where Levi screams out the name of the assailant at the top of his lungs. Now, that's how you make a villainous entrance. Good build-up, good sense of tension, and a sudden and impactful entrance that quickly changes the flow of things.
Oh? おめえもあんまり変わってねえな。
Up next is the grand entrance of the world's greatest hero. We finish up the first season of My Hero Academia with an entrance from All Might. Our protagonists so far have been doing pretty well for themselves given who they are in the last few episodes of My Hero Academia. However, they can only do so much, and as we continue on with the battle that's been slowly going south for them, who better to save the day than All Might? This may very well be the first time you see All Might in full serious mode. Everyone's left staring at him as he walks down without the signature smile on his face. It's a rare sight, but it only means that help has arrived and that all the good guys can finally rest easy. What a better way to cap it off with his own epic line. When someone like All Might says that it's all fine now, you better believe it. An ass kicking is about to commence. In a moment that can also double as one of the best anime saves, we have Ichigo saving Rukia in the climax of the Soul Society arc. Now, I think this scene has it all. A gigantic mass of power like nothing you've ever heard before is about to make short work of Rukia when you have the hero, having completed his training arc just in time, stepping in. Take note that this was before Bleach power levels went completely over the rails and when characters hyping things up through words still mattered, and you have Ichigo just stepping between Rukia and the giant phoenix like a boss. It's a classic and admittedly cliched scene, but I just can't help but love it after all these years. And I think that this scene set the pace for the rest of the episode and the upcoming decisive battles. And to this day, this is still one of my favorite Bleach episodes of all. Period.
助けに来たぜ。ルキア。よく言った。アルフォンス・エルリック。
For such a critically acclaimed show like Full Metal Alchemist, you've got to think that it's bound to have one of the best entrances in anime. Well, here you go with Roy Mustang's entrance against Lust. With Al and Riza in dire condition against one of the more troublesome homunculi to deal with, who else better to make the save in the entrance than Roy Mustang? Yep, I didn't buy the statement that Roy Mustang was dead one bit because it was pretty much a setup to lead to a moment like this. And it was just glorious. Wounded, but not going down. Mustang makes his much-awaited return and takes on Lust in one of the top highlights of FMA Brotherhood. I'm not the only one who saw his return coming, right? Still, that knowledge doesn't make this moment any less epic, as we're gifted the scene of Mustang being awesome and just brute-forcing his way through Lust's regeneration with his unmatched firepower. No pun intended. Regeneration and near immortality got you down? You're just not using enough firepower. Next up, make way for the almighty Kaido in this moment from One Piece.
死に場所を求める男の名は百獣のカイド。
If you're making a case for being one of the most overpowered characters, you better make sure to secure the complete package. An intimidating appearance and a menacing weapon aren't merely enough. Not in a world like One Piece's. We've seen it all in One Piece, so for your next big villain, he has to go the next step and make an entrance to remember. And Kaido did just that. This is but a preview of things to come, as he'll undoubtedly be one of the toughest obstacles the Straw Hats have to overcome in One Piece history. Given how long One Piece has been going on, that's saying something.
世界最高の戦争始めようぜ。
Among the 7 deadly sins, Who's the best at flexing? Escanor by far, literally or not. The big guy has shown himself to be one of the strongest among the group, and someone of that stature completely deserves moments to just show off a bit and make an impact. I mean, he's the sin of pride after all. Escanor gets his chance against Estarossa of the Commandments. It's amazing to see Escanor just nonchalantly walking towards Estarossa, completely no-selling his powers, much to the latter's shock. I find it a very badass moment, and at some points, straight up disrespect to the villain. It's a good way to open the curtains for the fight, which is really good in its own regard, so you should find a video of the fight after watching this and see the fun for yourself if you haven't already. So, how about you? What are some of the best entrances that you have in mind that weren't featured? Write it down and I might feature it next time. But before that, make sure to check out my previous top anime entrances video first. That's the end of this video for now, but if I see that you guys love these kind of videos, I might consider doing another volume of top anime entrances. In order to show that you liked this video, hit the thumbs up and click that subscribe and bell button so you never miss any new uploads. I'll see you next time on ViniiTube.